Hello and welcome to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the second game of this best of 3 here on the map Twisted Meadows. This is Night Elf vs Undead, Fanta vs Xixi, even though that was the wrong order. Either way, Xixi spawning in as the blue Night Elf player in the bottom left, Fanta the red Undead in the bottom right. So I believe they're the same colors. Other than that, yeah, different map. So the game went to Xixi's favor, and that was, I guess, mainly due to the fact that the Avatar of Vengeance was, yeah, pretty strong. You know, undoubtedly so. And I guess, I don't know, Fanta just wasn't able to deal with her as he would have liked. I mean, he was in a good position anyway, but I think it was just because of the Avatar. Yep. So let's see if things repeat themselves in this one. The Warden doesn't usually make an appearance in Twisted Meadows, but there have been occasionally some. Okay, we're not gonna have it this time around, so I guess the win condition for Xixi is a lot harder, I guess. Yeah, other than like incredibly early picks and opportunities taken from Xixi, I don't know how easily you could win a game compared to, like, you know, all I need to do is get a Warden to level 6. There, done. It's simple as that. It may not be easy because it's a rarity to have, you know, heroes consistently getting level 6 before, you know, you lose the game or anything like that. So we'll see how well this Demon Hunter will fare. We have seen him work, and you know, why wouldn't the Demon Hunter not work? He is just such an awesome hero. Albeit, some people may already consider him stale, but I still like him, I guess. Now, the Death Knight, on the other hand, I mean, it's a real bummer that we don't actually see any Dreadlords these days, at least on the pro scene or high level scene. I mean, we have seen, like, or at least personally I have seen wackier things happen on the W3 Arena server, and you know, I just hope one day that we'll have that same amount of craziness happen in these replays. So anyway, Death Knight actually able to get a couple of wisps for himself. Yep. Able to get himself the agility tome as well. Not particularly useful on the Death Knight himself, but it is of course preventing that Demon Hunter from hurting a little bit more. So yeah, the Ancient of War are actually going to move away. The Troll Warlord still lives. Surprised that Xixi chose to back off now. Interesting, because I feel like the Warlord is an easy target to take out. I guess he's just a little scared that the Death Knight might interrupt a little for him as well. So Death Knight just gonna clear out this Overseer camp, able to get level 2 out of it as well, so Unholy Aura will get into play. In addition, Ghoul opening, I guess pretty much expected, as we have seen the Ghoul Scout, so yeah, there's that. Normally, if you go anything to do with Crypt Fiends, then you wouldn't scout with your Ghoul, you'd scout with a 6th Acolyte, because you don't really want to be spending too much gold on your scouting unit, I guess. Yeah. So the graveyard has been placed down now, and I guess it is a much more appropriately timed graveyard, even though I guess it didn't really matter too much last game. I don't think that was really the reasoning behind why Fanta lost, and we have a very good surround onto the Demon Hunter. Pretty unfortunate that the Demon Hunter already has the TP staff though. You would have definitely loved to have burnt a TP scroll instead, but I guess he'll take anything he can get at this point. Rune braces on that Demon Hunter, which is I guess, going to be pretty useful when it comes to dealing with the Frost Nova Death Coil combo. And of course, he can just give it to a second hero if he chooses to go for a second hero, which might not actually happen. Demon Hunter able to pick up a couple of ghouls for himself as well. Try not to be too careless and lose your archers in trade for that. So yeah, might have a death coil, might not, as we are pretty much out of mana. Demon Hunter, however, is going to, I guess, have his field day when it comes to dealing with these ghouls. He does have boots, but he is being blocked by all of these ghouls. Wow, what a disaster that is. Interesting. Very early Sacrificial Pit, double Crypt Gargoyles. This is immediately spotted by Xixi, thankfully, and he might be able to create an army revolving around this. I imagine double Ancient of Winds, but not. We are gonna maybe go Mass Dryads instead. That is the next possibility. I guess Hippogriffs. I guess Hippogriffs don't really make too much sense since Gargoyles actually deal quite a significant amount of damage to air units themselves. So yeah, I think Dryads. I guess Dryads do make a little more sense, I guess. Panda being picked up as the second hero, which is very much reactive to the Gargoyles. I think we need a pretty quick tier 3 as well from Xixi to get that Orb of Venom as well. But yeah, very interesting that Fanta went Gargoyles. He is gonna go tier 3 regardless. I don't remember if there's anything beneficial in tier 3 for Gargoyles. I think there is just Stone Form, but that's it. I guess it's kind of like Burrow, but you're not invisible. You do regen a lot, I guess, but yeah, I'm not sure if it. I'm not sure. I guess like it would make sense. Gargoyles work well against Meadows because most of the units are pretty frail when it comes to dealing with air units that deal a fair bit of piercing damage, I guess. Which is why I thought that Dryads are a bit risky here. Because Gargoyles, they'll be in a higher number than these Dryads, and they'll receive a lot more damage, but well, you can see it, they did deal a fair amount of damage back to those Gargoyles, so it's like these two units are their own weaknesses and their best counters. So I guess it just depends on the number of whichever unit one player has, I guess. 5 Gargoyles so far for Fanta, still pumping out more. Going for a Lich second as well. Yeah. The Shade will keep tabs on the Panda here. He does have Sobi Mask from the Stone Golem of the left camp, so that's going to help a lot when it comes to dealing with these pesky little Gargoyles here. They are going to perhaps destroy that Ancient of Wonders, but well, we'll have to see, because piercing doesn't really do too well against fortified. But since the Ancient of Wonder is like very low in terms of health, doesn't take too much time, I guess. Alright, 4 Dryads versus around 6 Gargoyles. Yeah, this is a bit weird, I guess. We have bear training on the way, so bears are still going to make their appearance. Archers are going to be left back at base to deal with those Gargoyles if they choose to attack. Makes sense, I guess. Archers do fairly well against Gargoyles anyway, since they take reduced damage against piercing. They have Elun's Grace and all that. And of course, they do piercing themselves, so yeah. Ancient Wonders replaced here. We have a potential expand coming down, but of course we have to clear that gold mine first. I guess they're just wisp to keep tabs around the map, but this is where gargoyles thrive in. Taking care of those scout wisps. Level 3 on the panda is imminent, and he will get himself that level 2 Breath of Fire, which is again very useful when it comes to dealing with mass amount of units, particularly ghouls and gargoyles. Orb of Corruption is on that Lich. I would imagine the Demon Hunter to have the Orb of Venom as well. Yes, he does, so we can deal with those gargoyles if he ever encounters them. He's level 3, which is a bit of a problem, I guess, because the Demon Hunter does seem to perform a lot better if he's near that level 5 mark. But level 3 is acceptable since he does have access to level 2 mana burn. Okay, here we go. Pretty low hit point ghouls, but they are frenzied ghouls. As you can see, they are running a lot faster than what normal speed ghouls will run at. We did have a Drunken Fire combo there, but Scroll of Healing will be able to rectify most of that, I guess. The Lich is going to be the main target of the Demon Hunter. We have a nice Drunken Haze onto those gargoyles, but there we go with the subsequent Stone Form to counteract that buff. Dryads still dropping by those gargoyles. That's why I said like Dryads are still not 100% great against gargoyles, because they still get dealt with pretty nicely. There we go with the mana burn to finish off that Lich at level 2. Will we have a 10 revival? No, we're just gonna go have a revival at the altar. Expand attempt on the top, or on the left region of the map. And yeah, no expand just yet for the top. Would be pretty greedy if he goes for a double expand here, so let's just say that he's not. I'm not sure if the Shade caught wind of that expand, which it didn't, so yeah, Xixi is in the clear for now. Rock Golem in the right side of the map is going to be taken out by these gargoyles and ghouls. Make quick work out of that, and the Death Knight picks up the +6 strength, which again, not that useful. There's the possibility that it will be kept onto that Lich just for that added bit of health, but yeah, don't hold your breath on that one. I'm surprised that the Death Knight actually kept his +6 agility at that. So potential 2 items there that could be sold. Do we have any upgrades going on? We do have +1 attack upgrades for those gargoyles. Never mind, that is +2 attack upgrades. I guess it does make sense. It just says improved. The picture just kind of threw me off a little bit. Normally, you can tell the level of upgrade by the glow of the icon, but there is no glow, so I assumed it was level 1, but it is level 2. She's taking quite a bit of damage on the Demon Hunter. Of course, with the opponent going gargoyles, it does incentivize a lot more with bears, because destroyers are not present to counteract those bears, so yeah, bears are okay. Of course, you don't have to go crazy on them because you have no way of dealing with those gargoyles, but still, a couple of bears here and there is a nice mix in the comp. Alright, Ancient Wonders has been exiled and he has finally returned home. Moving his way to where I guess his other guy fell. 59 in terms of supply versus 60, so fairly similar, but a lot more Zergy, I guess, for Fanta. We have a reveal on top of the Night Elf army, revealing the Shade, and good deduction there from Xixi. I mean, he saw the sacrificial pit. There surely has to be a Shade somewhere. There we go with a bit of a breath of fire. Level 2 breath of fire, it's still surprisingly not as powerful as I imagined, but yeah, there we go. Drunken Haze into a storm breath, not storm breath, stone form. Yikes, it looks like Xixi's units are getting teared apart here. Even though he has bears on the ground, it's not going to matter too much because there's gargoyles in the air. Drunken Haze onto those gargoyles. It is going to take a while for them to get their stone form back, but yeah, the heroes of Xixi has to do work here. Preservation Staff and a TP Scroll will be used. Yikes, that is horrible for Xixi. He just lost the majority of his army. 41 supply, so he dropped in supply around 20. It might not seem like a lot, but like remember, he is still producing out of these two Ancient of Lore, so technically he is like around 35 supply, so he lost about 25 worth of units there. Meanwhile, Fanta, well, no problem for him. I guess most of his losses were ghouls instead of gargoyles, and he's also got a frost worm. That's rough. That's very rough. Yeah, how are you gonna deal with this one? You need a lot of anti-air, and sadly, Xixi doesn't have too many. Yep, he's massing up on Dryads. He's gonna go +2 armor or +1 armor. Yeah, that's +1 armor. Dryads and bears are already 2-0 anyway, so yeah, hopefully that armor will be useful because right now they're taking 100%. Plus I guess another 50, so that's like 150% damage from those gargoyles. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Xixi's still losing a lot of his units already. Wellsprings is upgraded, but we are now in daytime. We do have a Drunken Haze, but Panda's just not going for that Breath of Fire. It's really weird that he's not actually comboing that. Anti-magic shell potion onto that Panda. It is going to wear off, unfortunately, so he is subject to a combo of the Death Knight and the Lich. Dryads just stand no chance. I mean, it's really harsh. Frostworms, yeah, they can't deal with those Dryads, but at least the gargoyles can as well. Look at that. They just don't care. There we go, the Breath of Fire. Nice Breath of Fire. In fact, able to deal quite a bit of damage, and well, surprisingly, Xixi is still in this. He is going to activate a Moonstone just to force those Moonwells to regenerate, and he really needs it. +3 attack, I believe, on those Dryads and Bears, so yeah. A lot more glass cannon than I would have thought. Fanta, on the other hand, already level 5 on the Death Knight. Viracle's level 4 on the Lich. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter is, I believe, around level 4. And the Panda is also level 4 as well. Yeah, thankfully, Xixi has been sitting on 2 bases for a while now. I doubt Fanta is aware of this. Slaughterhouse is on the way, so like, I guess the best option Fanta could do is round his composition with destroyers and have like the ultimate undead air army, which is pretty weird to say because we don't usually see well, I was gonna say we don't usually see undead air units, but that's like a complete lie. We see destroyers every day. Let's say air units aside from destroyers. I think that is the better term. Warlord has been taken out. +4 armor is not that useful, so yeah, a bit of a bummer there. And TP Scroll will be used immediately. Will we lose an archer? No, we will not. So yeah, these units have backpacks, so I believe the Ring of Protection has been sold for, you know, that quick bit of gold. Rock Golem will be taken out. This is the second last Rock Golem of the map, so maybe Fanta will get something to his liking. Tome of Experience is always nice, and I don't know if that was +6 agility or if that was the Kajir's Gem of Health. But either way, bit a fairly decent set of items for the Lich, I guess. The Pendant of Health will be very useful when trying to survive that Demon Hunter. Not too sure about the +6 agility. Might just be for that slight attack speed increase. Demon Hunter is invisible. Thankfully there are no shades on him, so unable to see that. As soon as I say that, Shade has now spotted him. Oh wow, Xixi actually expanded here as well. Very cheeky, almost foolish, but I guess like the mindset was that, oh, Fanta probably wouldn't expect this, so yeah, maybe I could get away with it, but yeah, that is just that's very cheeky on Xixi's part, and he is gonna lose that expand. He was able to mine about 500-ish gold out of that, so I think he almost made up for the resources used, but yeah, weird. Gold mines have collapsed for both main bases. We're gonna have the crypts being unsummoned as we are now focusing on meat wagons and destroyers. I mean, we have plenty of gargoyles anyway, so we don't need these crypts. More frost rooms also being queued up here. We also have a haunted gold mine on the top right, so thankfully I did spot that. I'm so ashamed I didn't spot this one. I just did not anticipate it. Tree of Life here has been completed, and Xixi will get himself that second base, which is, you know, pretty good. Ancient Protector is being built on the top right. I don't think it has been spotted by Fanta. Yeah, not just yet, but when it becomes daytime, then yeah, that is going to be a definite thing. I believe that was the Shade being picked off once again. Fanta at 75. Xixi at 78. Lots and lots of dryads. Around about 14 dryads with 3/1 upgrades. Alright. Huge amount of DPS coming out of those dryads. Pretty impressive. Acolytes will be hunted down like, I guess, the acolytes they are. Ancient Protector, I guess, protecting the flank, but in the end it is going to fall very quickly, not even tossing a single rock. Pretty funny. Disease Cloud on those meat wagons as well, so add a bit of DPS there from that as well. Drunken Haze onto all those units, but it's just going to be like free food for those for that destroyer, which is a bit problematic. The bears are going to take a slight bit of damage. Meat Wagon's also taking a bit of damage from the Breath of Fire as well. Panda's taking quite a bit of damage here, but he does have the invulnerability from the TB scroll if he needs it. I have no idea what the Demon Hunter is, but it does not look good for Xixi. Or so I thought. But Fanta is actually going to give the GG. Yeah. Even though Xixi was the one that retreated, Fanta pretty much had no more acolytes, so he couldn't continue the game even further. So yeah, that is the reason why Fanta GG'd, and yeah, I mean, I just said that Xixi lost the battle, but he did win the war. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this series. 2-0 to Xixi. I will see you guys again next time. Take care.